As we hurtle towards the next century, high-tech advances in medicine continue to push back the barriers in treatment. Among the products of the future, the Australian medical sheepskin is already playing a vital role in the management and prevention of a far too common medical problem, pressure ulcers. By the time emergency workers reach this patient, she could already be developing a pressure ulcer. It's an unnecessary complication, perhaps prolonging this woman's stay in hospital. It's ironic, isn't it? Medical breakthroughs have given us the ability to perform highly complex operations that can save lives. Despite this, something as seemingly minor as bed sores can add millions of dollars to health budgets. Elderly patients are most at risk, and our ageing population will further compound this serious health issue. Yet it's estimated that as many as 95% of ulcers can be avoided through prevention strategies. Medical sheepskins are renowned for providing a safe, comfortable surface for relieving pressure on skin and preventing ulcer formation. The Australian medical sheepskin has been further developed in recent times by scientists and manufacturers to combine the latest in research and technical excellence with the inherently beneficial characteristics of Australian wool. When a patient is immobile, body weight is transmitted through their bony prominences, the so-called pressure points, to the supporting surface, with the result that blood flow to the tissue in between is significantly restricted. Shearing force, friction and moisture also contribute to potential tissue breakdown. A healthy person can develop pressure ulcers in 2 to 4 hours if left undisturbed in the same position. For elderly or seriously ill patients, tissue breakdown can occur within 1 hour unless the pressure is relieved. With patients who have undergone a hip replacement, for example, the odds of developing an ulcer are as high as 70%.
Hello, Mrs. Lloyd Campbell. How are you today? Good. Can I have a look at your foot boot, please?
Nursing staff have developed guidelines for preventing ulcers, which involve assessing at-risk patients, reducing pressure on high-risk areas, interrupting the pressure frequently, keeping the stressed area dry, and providing a low-friction cushioning surface for the body.
Just slip this one out.
One of the most effective weapons in the battle against pressure ulcers is the Australian medical sheepskin.
Is that comfortable?
It's beautiful.
Good.
Susie,
Okay, you can go back to reading your book now.
Thank you.
The soft but springy nature of each wool fibre contained in the pile cushions and more evenly distributes the patient's weight around at-risk areas. Moisture build-up is avoided through the ability of the fibres to absorb moisture and keep the skin surface dry. Wool can absorb 1/3 of its weight without feeling damp, even in hot and humid conditions.
Good morning, Heather.
Health professionals at Melbourne's Epworth Hospital can testify to the benefits of Australian medical sheepskin.
We've been using sheepskins at Epworth Hospital for many years, but in the last 12 months we've been doing a trial on the medical sheepskins, and these are infinitely better than those that we've used previously.
What role do the sheepskins play in post-operative patient management?
Well, we like to use them directly from the theatre table to the patient's bed, so that the patient is put directly on the sheepskin for their recovery and for the ward afterwards. We also like to continue their use in the ward throughout their period in hospital, and the patients find them very comfortable and very satisfactory. We also use them in the other departments, in ICU as well as in the recovery and ward situations.
So they have widespread application throughout the hospital?
Very much so, yes. They're an integral part of patient care these days.
The Australian experience of the effectiveness of sheepskins is backed up by international experts. Pamela Hibbs, a leading authority on pressure area management in the United Kingdom, has successfully reduced the incidence of pressure ulcers in the City and Hackney Health Authority. As well as various other pressure relieving devices, she recommended the use of 600 fleeces for the prevention of pressure ulcers in a health authority district. Australia's premier scientific body, the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, the CSIRO, supported by the Meat Research Corporation and in collaboration with industry, have undertaken research to develop new standards and high-tech production processes for Australian medical sheepskins to meet the needs of the future. Research has led to the development of a medical sheepskin that can be washed at high temperature, sufficient to meet the infection control standards of hospitals, and is resistant to damage by urine and other body fluids. Research has confirmed that Australian medical sheepskin does relieve pressure. Here we see the reading on a standard hospital mattress is about 69 millimetres of mercury.
Okay, up you sit, tone and widen out this area. Here we go, sheepskin going in underneath. Sheepskin on your right. Okay, down you go.
When a genuine sheepskin is placed beneath the same person in precisely the same spot, we get a drop in the tissue interface pressure to about 25 millimetres of mercury.
That's lovely, I can see very clearly it's sitting on 26 and it's steady.
The genuine Australian medical sheepskin is created from specially selected high-quality skins that contain a merino content unique to the Australian flock.
The high-density wool pile comprises up to 5,000 fibres per square centimetre. Each fibre acts like a tiny coiled spring to distribute the patient's weight over a wide area and to give greater comfort and support to the patient.
How would you rate this sheepskin?
This sheepskin is excellent. It has a good fibre density, it has a very well-defined staple, it has a good length, and overall is a very, very supportive product.
How do you measure that support?
We have a machine which can measure the difference between various skins, and it allows us to choose the skin which will give the greatest support and pressure relief.
Couldn't some of these properties be replicated in a synthetic material?
There's no way a synthetic will ever replicate a natural sheepskin. The density and the fibre structure in a synthetic just does not come up or stack up against a sheepskin.
How do you satisfy the balance between disinfection and maintaining the quality of the sheepskin?
To meet future hospital requirements, the CSIRO has developed a high-tech tannage which allows us to wash skins at 85 degrees Celsius and many times at that temperature. Never before has leather been required to meet such stringent requirements. In fact, we have actually boiled some of these samples for up to 24 hours without any deterioration of the leather.
Clinical trials show the Australian medical sheepskin clearly has a significant role in the prevention of pressure ulcers in at-risk patients. In 1993, American researchers Lindowski and Meehan compared the performance of genuine Australian medical sheepskin with synthetic pads in a randomised trial at a New York hospital. They found skin condition deteriorated in 20% of the synthetic pad-using group, but not a single patient had skin deterioration in the genuine sheepskin group. The researchers concluded genuine medical sheepskin is more effective in the prevention and treatment of ulcers than artificial sheepskin. But just how do nursing staff and health professionals know they are using medical sheepskin? Standards Australia, in conjunction with industry, has introduced a new Australian standard that clearly identifies the genuine Australian medical sheepskin. Products complying with this standard overcome traditional problems associated with purchasing. Imitation products can be easily identified by their knit back. The high temp label indicates sheepskins which can be washed in commercial laundries at 80 degrees Celsius. This temperature meets hospital infection control standards, and these sheepskins are colour-coded green. The reg temp sheepskin has a 60 degrees Celsius wash temperature, can be machine dried and is colour-coded blue. Urine resist skins are also available for both high temp and reg temp and are identified by the UR mark on the back. New Australian medical sheepskin has been treated before leaving the factory to maintain the product's natural appearance and to avoid changes to the pile after laundering. After consultation with healthcare professionals, Australian manufacturers have developed a range of specially designed products with the needs of patients in mind.
We manufacture a wide range of pressure relieving products from medical sheepskin, for example the short boot and this long boot, which is primarily designed for those that are confined to wheelchairs. They get circulation problems, cold feet, that sort of thing, and this is an excellent way of overcoming those problems. And we manufacture full wheelchair covers and covers for all the little accessories that you find attached to wheelchairs. For those that are confined to bed, of course, we have the full sheepskin underlay, which is extensively used in hospitals. And for the pressure points like elbows, heels, that sort of thing, we have these protectors. The high density wool distributes pressure over a wide area, relieving the stress points. They're all fully adjustable, and we find that these meet most patient needs.
Unlike some specialty equipment or high-tech mattresses, Australian medical sheepskins are affordable, portable and have a wide variety of applications. On specialty beds for seriously ill patients in the intensive care unit, in the general ward where people are immobile for long periods of time, as standard issue bedding in nursing homes and hospices, on X-ray tables when patients are undergoing time-consuming nuclear scanning, during patient transfers and on casualty trolleys, as part of the emergency equipment used during road and air ambulance evacuations, in the orthopaedic and spinal wards where patients are especially vulnerable to the risk of pressure ulcers, in the maternity ward for the safety and comfort of premature babies, and for home and community health care. Medical research is continuing to stride forward, providing new treatments and cures for complicated illnesses. Despite the advances, progress has failed to find a safer or more effective surface for preventing pressure ulcers than nature's own contribution. With almost every person expected to benefit from sheepskin at some time during their life, the medical sheepskin has clearly earned its reputation as Australia's gift to medicine.